Welcome to episode 34 of the Crochet Luna Vlogcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from the San Diego area in Southern California, where it is my favorite time of the year, fall, and where we are crafting our little fingers away. So join me and let's catch up. I'd like to start the episode with a little brief life update. As you know, I always like to do that at the beginning to let you know how I am health-wise. And I can finally report that the new medication that I'm on for my rheumatoid arthritis seems to be kicking in, and I'm putting together more consecutive days where I am having more functionality throughout the day and less pain, less stiffness. So let's hope that that keeps up, and I'm really looking forward to getting on a more consistent schedule for not only for broadcasting but also for making all around, because it's the time of the year where we want to make all the things, right? I mean, I want to make all the things all the time, but it's fall. It's, the daylight is getting shorter. You just want to be snuggled up with a project, and so I'm really happy to be able to put together now more crafty time. So that's been going on. Like I said, the medication's working, and I'm really, really, really happy that um, I'm putting together more good days than not. One of the goals that I'm setting for myself, that I'm hoping that if this medication keeps working, is that I'm hoping to get back on the tennis court. And I'm giving myself until the summer of 2020, like June of next year, to hopefully be back on the tennis court. And one of the things that I'm doing towards that goal is I'm getting back to the gym and being able to do some proper conditioning, a little running, a little walking, a little weightlifting, stuff that will get my hands and my body ready to get back on the tennis court, because I'm really, really wanting to do that. Like I said, I derived a lot of my identity from being a tennis player for many, many years, and it's been very difficult for me to let that go. And though I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I can play at the level that I was playing before I stopped playing, even just to be able to get on a tennis court, to be able to hit the ball, would be a huge accomplishment for me. So that's something that I want to work towards, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now, I'll just give you a quick rundown of how things have gone since the last time I podcasted with Zelda. Hey, Zelda, my friend. That was so much fun. I always have a good time when Zelda and I get together. We always have a good time. Her channel is Zelda and RJ3, and I will link it down below. You can watch some of her episodes. Her style of blogcasting or podcasting is very different from mine, and I love it. There's short videos. She does really well at documenting things. She really is very talented when it comes to putting together her videos, and I wish I could do it that way, but I'm just more of a, I need to edit. I actually really enjoy the editing process, but we'll see. We'll see when we next get together and record a video together. I know a lot of people want us to record together, so I'm very open to that. I've told her about it and she's open to it. It's just a matter of coordinating our schedule so that we can do that. So for today, you have me, and I have so much to talk about. It's unbelievable. Like I said, I don't apologize for the fact that this video is probably going to be way, way, way long. I am one to enjoy really long videos. One of my favorite podcasts is the Grocery Girls, and whenever I see their videos come up and they're like 2 hours long, and I'm like, yay! I really enjoy that, and I get a lot of crafting done. So I hope to keep you company while you craft or you do whatever you need to do. And so let's start with September. Excuse me. September was all about San Diego Yarn Crawl. and I have been going to the crawl for the last 3 years. I think actually I missed 4 years. I think I missed 1 year. I don't remember why. Maybe I was sick. But this year was a very minimal crawl. I think I only did 1 day, and I was with cousin Evelyn, who I need to get on the podcast. You guys, she's such a good crocheter, and I keep telling her she's got to come on. So I gotta get her on here so you guys can meet her. Anyway, I hit some of my favorite stores on the yarn crawl. One of my absolute favorite shops is Yarns at Border Leather in Chula Vista, California. And one of the reasons I love starting the crawl at the shop is because they have such a love for crochet. If you go to their shop, they have plenty of samples. The people who work there are very well versed, not only in crochet but also in knitting, and they have lots of beautiful yarns, of course. But what I like is the fact that they actually take the time to feature crochet in their shop. And one of the things that I saw when I first walked in was a hat that was made out of it just looked like it was like a meshy looking hat. It was crocheted, and I said, I need to make this hat, and I need to make it exactly in the yarn that you have it here, which is rare. I really don't do that, but it was, and I'll show you. I'm just going to show you acquisitions as we go. I'm not going to just say, here's my acquisition segment, because so much of it is tied to some of the things that I've done. So one of the yarns that I saw was this gold yarn by Eza, I guess it's called Jewel. Here's the company name. And it's acrylic yarn, I believe, right? Yeah, it's 100% acrylic, but it has a lot of gold sparkle. And the pattern that I got, let me see if I can find it. You guys, today is, the whole episode should be called Pattern Palooza. Maybe I'll rename it Pattern Palooza. I have stacks of patterns to share with you. So I will have a very robust Pattern Palooza to share with you. So give me 1 second and let me see if I can find it. Okay, I found the pattern, and it is a pattern found in a magazine that you can actually, I just checked, you can find a digital copy of it. It's called The Vintage Hat by Amy Polson. So I will put a link, as always. Every pattern that I talk to you guys about on the Vlogcast will be part of a bundle in the Crochet Luna Vlogcast Ravelry group. So go to the Ravelry group and you'll see on the upper right hand side bundles, and then find the bundle for this episode, and you will see a link to all the patterns that I talk about. If I show you the pattern, it doesn't show you the hat, but instead I believe I can insert a picture of what it looks like, because I took a picture of it. I think I have to find it, but anyway, there will either be a picture following, or if not, because I couldn't find it, know that I will put a link in the bundle for this pattern. It's called The Vintage Hat by Amy Polson from the Love of Crochet magazine, fall 2014. That's what I bought this yarn for. And I think this is the only yarn that I bought there. I could be wrong. No, this is all I bought, but I did find, and I don't have my other earrings, I did find a pair of the cutest little Frida Kahlo earrings there. You see them? How cute are they? I bought these. Originally I thought, you know, I'll turn them into stitch markers. Look how cute she is. Focus. And that's all I bought there actually. I really wasn't planning on spending too much money at the crawl, and I'll talk to you about why I made that decision a little bit later. But after the this yarn shop, we headed over to um Apricot Supply. That is a yarn shop that is so cute. It's located at Liberty Station here in San Diego, and they had really, really pretty yarn. And one of the yarns that I bought was, and I'll show you, from Candy Skein. It's called Earl Ray Latte Star Wars snack. I don't know. I'll show you. But anyway, it's this colorway. Now this colorway will come back into play. I'll show you this again because I'm actually working with this. I bought 2 skeins of this yarn, and after this shop we went to, I think, one more, and then we ended up at Yarning For You, which is my local yarn shop. And like I said, I was really, really not looking to buy yarn, but I found this skein of yarn by Stitch Together. This is the company Stitch Together. And look at this yarn. Oh, isn't that pretty? So pretty. But this is why I bought it, okay? Aside from the fact that the colorway, I was first drawn to the colorway. The name of the colorway is Swearing Like a Sailor. Swearing like, look at how beautiful this is. I'm like, who do I know that swears like a sailor? So I had to be mine. Look how pretty. I can't get over. The colors are very true to how I'm seeing them. So that's very nice. And then I got this one because the colorway is amazing, but the yarn company is called Bruce's Revenge, and it has a llama corn as a tag. Look at that. I love it. But look at this colorway. See, I'm moving away from the yellows into these very earthy colors, and I am in love with all of the look at the copper in there. It's a beautiful, beautiful skein of yarn. Let's see if I can get that close to you. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So that's Bruce's Revenge, and that's basically it. That's all the yarn that I bought. So one of the things that I realized when I went on the yarn crawl, now the first couple of years I went on the San Diego yarn crawl, I spent a lot of money. I bought a lot of yarn, and I don't regret it. It's beautiful yarn. Some of it is still in my stash. I haven't used it. But in light of what's happened this year and how I feel like I need to be more careful with how I spend my money, not only because I don't really need more yarn. Like all of us can say that we don't need more yarn, but I also want to support people's businesses, you know? And I realized that I would rather buy yarn directly from a yarn dyer. And I know it's important to support the local yarn shop. I do. Don't get me wrong. But I find that they're not supporting my craft. They're not really supporting crochet. If they have a sample of crochet, and I've said this many, many times before. This is not the first time I say it. I've said this many times before. When a yarn shop has a crochet sample, a lot of times it's not something that inspires me to say, oh my God, I want to crochet that. It's not. It's very generic, simple things. I don't know if it's because a lot of times the yarn shop owner will say, well, I don't know how to crochet, or I only know how to crochet very simple things. But as a yarn shop owner, you're just one request away from having an amazing sample in your shop. Now, I will tell you that Apricot Supply did have a couple really beautiful crochet samples. But there are shops that have none or have one, maybe one. And I feel like I would rather not only support a yarn shop that will support my craft, that will actually take the time to find samples, to find patterns, crochet patterns that will elevate the craft, right? I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. You've heard me say this before. I feel like crochet has come such a long way, and that we are just as willing to spend money on good yarn for our crochet projects as knitters are. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I feel like as a yarn shop owner, you are really missing the mark by not putting some energy and real effort into your crochet clientele, because a lot of people who crochet knit and a lot of people who knit crochet. So it's not just that you are ignoring one whole group of people, but you're also missing out on the people who maybe might want to change it up and say, you know what, I'm going to try a crochet project because this sample that you put on your shop is so amazing that, you know what, I need to crochet that. In the same vein, in the same line, along the same lines, I will get there. I'll get to my point. That I have started to knit because I see so many beautiful knit samples when I go to yarn shops. I've started to knit because I've seen samples of knitted projects that I'm just like, I want to make that. That has inspired me to learn a new craft. In the same way, you could be inspiring your knitters, your lifelong knitters, to pick up a crochet hook, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, all of that to say that my decision this year during the San Diego Yarn Crawl was to support directly yarn dyers and makers directly, and maybe spend the money that I have put aside to spend on yarn and on, you know, bags or whatever, to make those dollars count, because I think if you go directly to the dyer or the maker, they benefit from that. Not to say that I will not shop at my local yarn shop. I like my local yarn shop. They're nice people. They carry amazing yarns. And I don't have a problem supporting them. I just wish they would support my craft more. And I feel like I want to support the maker directly more. So that's all I wanted. It's not a rant. I mean, I don't think it's a rant. I just think it's a thing that you as a crocheter deal with every time you go to a yarn shop. You're just surrounded by knit samples, and you see the one or two lonely little crochet samples, and you're like, take it or leave it. When in fact you could be displaying some amazing crochet that would just blow people's mind. So that's where I'll leave that at. Now, let's move on to October. October was amazing because it really is the kickoff to the crafting season. And there's always this buzz about Rhinebeck. Rhinebeck, right? Making your Rhinebeck sweater, planning your Rhinebeck trip. And this year, there was such an abundance of Rhinebeck events. I think it seems like with, you've got your India Untangled, and then you had Christy Glass put on her Rhinebeck Bazaar, which I think was an amazing, amazing feat to put together. If you've seen some of her videos, you know that she worked she and the people who helped her worked incredibly hard to get that event to be what it was, right? Now, here on the West Coast, we don't have anything like that, right? I mean, we have Stitches West, but not right now at the weekend of Rhinebeck. We don't have anything going on except two brilliant women from the Knitting Tree, Annette, who is owner of the Knitting Tree in Los Angeles, and Shella put together Rhinebeck West. And they approached me months ago about being a vendor at that event. And of course I said yes. I don't have enough words to tell you what an amazing event it was. I loved it. And it was my first time actually vending on my own. And so I was a little nervous about that. I actually, staged my whole setup in my house so that I would be comfortable enough to put things together. One, I was having some really difficult days pain-wise, and I was really nervous about just even unfolding the table because I was having a hard time with my hands. So I worked hard to get my display and have my pins and everything that I needed just so that I could manage on my own, because I was going to be doing this on my own. And like I said, the event was amazing. There was dyers, there was a knitwear designer, there was people doing things like carding, and Annette put together like some fun events like a knitting obstacle course, where you would knit and you go through the cones, and there was a roving to washcloth knitting challenge. There was a food truck that had vegan food, which was amazing, and just really beautiful yarn everywhere. And the shop was just, everything about it was, I couldn't have asked for a better first experience vending. It was small, but yet well laid out. Lots of people came. I was so happy to meet some people that I know from Instagram that came and said hello. That's the fun part, I think, for me with these events, is like you get to meet people that you follow on Instagram, and you're like, oh, I follow you. Like a couple of people, they looked familiar to me, but it was not until they gave me their Instagram name and I was like, oh, I know you, I follow you. And so that was a lot of fun. It was also a lot of fun to see the actual feedback to my work, to my pins from people. When people order stuff from me online, I sometimes will get notes that say, I love your pins, I love your work. But to see people excited about the pins, or talking amongst themselves, or saying, I must have this, is really rewarding. I really enjoyed that. So that was a lot of fun. So I was sitting next to Shella, and Shella had a table of really beautiful yarn that she refused to call it a de-stash. She said she was sharing her collection of yarn with people. And let me tell you, she's like, this isn't even like anything. Like, I have so much at home. That table had some of the most beautiful yarn. And I was not planning on buying any yarn, but there were some skeins that were calling my name. And I will show you what I got. So first up, we have, excuse me, Knitted Wit with their Bad Santa colorway. Look at that. And I got two because I have a Christmas shawl that I want to do. And it's DK weight. It's super bright. I love it. I kept looking at it. Like, she was next to me and I kept looking at it going, oh my gosh, I really want that yarn. Oh my gosh. And there was another skein of yarn by Woolen Vine that I was eyeing, but somebody bought. I'm like, it wasn't meant to be, so then I picked these out. This was like on Saturday. And then Sunday, she brought, sorry, I dropped some yarn. Then Sunday, she brought some more, and I saw this. This is one of the Grocery Girls and Hue local collaborations, the Knit Together Sock Club. Here's the label. But I just fell in love with this colorway. And it's got a little mini. So I was so happy to get this. I really was. It's so pretty. And then at the end of the night, Shella very kindly gifted me a little mini skein of, well, it's not a mini skein. It was a full skein of yarn that she divided so that I could have some of it. And it's really pretty. And I don't know who the yarn dyer is. I don't remember. But that's what I bought. And like I said, I just had such a great time. It was such a lovely experience. That was October, so that was all about Rhinebeck. So now let's move on to some admin, which all it is, I want to tell you that all the packages that I needed to send out have been sent out. I have 2 dodgy bag mail packages that were sent out. So those people have received their packages. And then everybody who won a pattern from the second quarter of the Sock Theme Cow has received their patterns. And let's see, I have a special mention that I've been meaning to tell you guys about. If I didn't write it down in the last podcast, I did it with Zelda, and I definitely did not have that in my notes. And it is a donated pattern that I received back when we were running the Dodgy Bag Mail, and it's from this lovely, lovely maker. Her name is Ellie, and she is the Craft House Magic podcast on YouTube, and she's the same on IG. And she donated a pattern for a drawstring bag and one for a zippered bag. She does a lovely podcast. I've been watching it. If you want to check it out, she crochets, she knits, she sews. I really enjoyed her podcast. And Ellie, thank you. If you're watching, thank you so much for that. I have one pattern that I can donate. Actually, she said I could donate 2. So I have 1 drawstring pattern and 1 zipper pattern. If you're interested in winning one of those patterns, just comment below and tell me in your comment that you're interested in the drawstring bag or the zipper bag. So I will draw a winner from the people who have said that they're interested. But please only enter it if you're really interested in making the bag. She has very kindly donated these patterns, and I want them to go to people who are interested in making bags. So just let me know in the comment section down below, and I will let you know in the next podcast who the winners are. So thank you again, Ellie. She is Craft House Magic on YouTube and on Instagram, and I think all her social medias are Craft House Magic. Let's do some more Cal updates. So I have the winners of the Summer of Romance 2019. I had over 20 FOs in the FO thread in my Ravelry group. Now this is a Cal that I co-host with Clarissa Beth of the Crochet Cakes podcast, and I picked 2 winners. One will get a package of goodies from me, and the second winner will get their choice of 2 patterns from Ravelry. So the person who will get the package is I can't say that word. Colorful Coder. I will put it down here. You have won a small package of goodies from me. Please contact me via Ravelry, or you can email me. The email is found down below. Let me know what your shipping address is, and I will ship that little package of goodies to you. The second winner is DRM Novelties. I will put her name here because I will probably have, I'm sure I've butchered it. And you have won 2 patterns from Ravelry of your choice. Just let me know what the patterns are and I will get them to you. So thank you so much to everyone who participated in the Summer of Romance Cal 2019. It was a lot of fun. I did finish my Summer of Romance project, but I will share that with you when I share some FOs. All right, moving on to the Sock Theme Cal 2019. This is the third quarter winners, July, August, September. So July's prompt was Chilling Out. The winner is brunamelo. August was Good Times with Friends, and the winner is Isabella 106. And September is From My Library, and the winner is Evengaze. So brunamelo, Isabella 106, and Evengaze, please let me know what pattern from Ravelry you would like, up to $10, and I will get that to you. Thank you so much. I have some hardcore crochet and knitting sock people in that thread, you guys. There's some people who are gonna bust out 12 pairs of socks this year, and I have completed half of one. Love it. I love crochet socks, but let me tell you, the list is so long of all the projects that I want to do, and I started a pair and I showed it to you guys last time, but I won't even show them to you because I haven't done anything with them. Hoping to be done with that pair soon so I can start another pair of socks. But yes, thank you so much. And also want to remind you that Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet is also running her Year of the Sock. So you can double dip. You can enter my Ravelry group in the Sock Theme Cal 2019 thread, and you can also enter into Hannah's Year of the Sock thread in her Ravelry group. So that's it for Cal news. I have some shout outs, I guess you could say. I don't know if they're shout outs, but there are things that I wanted to talk to you because I've been watching Lori of the Lori Lulu podcast, and she's been designing shawls. I don't know if you're aware of that, but she's been designing like a whole series of shawls. And her last shawl was the podcaster shawl, and she designed that with all of the podcasters that have inspired her in mind. And I think that is amazing. Lori, thank you so much for thinking of me. I know you've mentioned me, and you have done such a good job with your podcast. And also, you have done such a good job designing your shawls. I want to encourage anybody who has not subscribed to her podcast, please go watch it. She's a lovely, lovely lady. And like I said, check out her Ravelry pages so that you can see what she's got in her shawls. See what she's got in her shawls. See the shawls are in her Ravelry store. How about that? How about English words that actually make sense, Claudia? I don't know. Whatever. Moving on. Faye and Sophie of the Spring and a Snowflake podcast, Faye of the Crochet Circle podcast, they are hosting the Whip It, Rip It 2019 Cal. That's where you either finish a whip or you just rip it and go back to putting that yarn in your stash. I actually did that at the beginning of the year. The beginning of the year, I took all of my project bags and I did that. I went through them all and I either, frogged what I needed to frog or made decisions on what I wanted to keep. And I only kept really 2 projects. My skull jumper and this other top that I've been working on were really the only, no, and I lie. My Nemesis sock that I started 3 years ago, which is from the Ron Strong book. What were they called? I don't even know. Something Street, Gorman Street socks. I kept those 3. So I ripped everything else, put it back in my yarn shelves, and then decided that those were the only things I was going to keep. The current cal that I am hosting, which is a very loose cal, only on Instagram, and this will take me to my WIPs. I think I'm only going to show one, right? No. What am I saying? One. I've got like 3. I think 3. I don't know, 2 or 3. Anyway, focus. I saw this shawl and I thought I need to make it. Now, I was not planning on starting a shawl, let alone a crochet along. But that's how inspirational I find this project to be. And so I contacted the designer. Actually, she contacted me and asked me if I was interested in doing a crochet along, and I said yeah, but very very loosely. I have so much going on right now. I didn't want to really do anything too involved, and so all you need to do is use the hashtag Hexit. I'll put it down here, Hexit Shawl, and you can enter into our crochet along. I will show you the pattern. This is a paid pattern. It's the Hexit Shawl by Mary Renji Designs. Now, Mary, I do apologize if I am not saying your name right. I'm saying Mary Renji, but I don't know if that's a proper pronunciation. I'm so sorry if I'm not saying it right. But you can see it here. It is a beautiful shawl that starts with this hexagon, and then you end up with this really beautiful long, look at that, it's just gorgeous. And I happen to have what I think are the perfect skeins for the shawl for me, because I really wanted to make something that was fall and kind of neutral. And so I already showed you one of the yarns that I'm using for my my Hexit shawl, which is this yarn from Candy Skein. And then I had this in my stash, which I brought back from the UK when I went to Yarndale, and this is a River Knits colorway called Haystacks. And look at how beautiful that is. Absolutely gorgeous. So I thought these two would look really good together. And you know what? I was right. I was right. I absolutely love how this is coming out. This is how much I have. So the hexagon is done. And then I'm starting on the one side of, here you go, of the panel, of the side panel. But what I love about it is that the pops of blue that you see in the yarn really complement, I think, some of what's going on in the Haystacks yarn, and that's why I think it goes really well together. So my hexagon is done, and it's working up so nice. Oh my gosh, look at this. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Look at that. It's going to be so beautiful, and I can't wait to be done with it. It's a great crochet. It's a great crochet. It has a chart, has the instructions. There was an update to the pattern because there was one little error, I think, in the last part of the hexagon, where you end up with a contrasting color. Just get the pattern. It's updated. It's fine. It's beautiful, and make it. I think it's great if you have like 4 skeins of yarn, 2 and 2, because I'm already done with the first skein of this. I'm going to cake this up so I can finish doing this, and I still have some of what I'm calling my contrasting color. So this is this. See that? Love it. I love it so much, you guys. So freaking happy with this crochet. That is my WIP and my and the cowl, the crochet along that I'm hosting with the designer Mary. And I'm hoping to get some time with her. Maybe we can do an Instagram live and you guys can meet her, because she also is a designer of a hat that I crocheted. I'll talk about that in my FO though. Let's keep talking about WIPs. So, oh, look at my bag. This bag, this is where my Hexic shawl is living. This bag I bought at the San Diego yarn crawl 2 years ago at my local yarn shop. It's by Casey's Pockets to Go. That's her little label right there. But of course, I had to have it. I mean, it's got sugar skulls. The next work in progress that I have is a top. And it is by one of my favorite designers. I have so many favorite designers. You know what? Because we have such great crochet designers, people. We have amazing designers. This is Arika from Skeins and Sticks Design. This is her Samantha top. It is an asymmetrical neckline. I started to work on this top in my live stream on Twitch, and I was using a different yarn from Stash, and it was not working out at all. And I looked at the yarn that she used in the pattern, and I decided I was just going to go ahead and purchase that yarn. Love the way the top looks in her photographs, and so I found it. It's called Roslyn. This is a cascade yarn that is 65% wool, 35% silk. It's this beautiful purple color with speckles of like a magenta. I don't know. It's just really pretty yarn. And it happened to be 50% off on the WIPs website. And I started making it. I don't have a lot right now. I just have the start of it. But you can see how pretty that is. How pretty that's working out. I had hoped to have more of this done for the BIPOC sweater cowl. There, you can see the stitch is so pretty. But I didn't, and I'm not going to sweat it. I'm still going to make this top. I can still wear it. I live in San Diego. It's a beautiful top. And so that is my second WIP. And that's living in my Catitude bag. I made this bag out of 2 dish towels that I found on sale. And I made this bag last Halloween. This was my Halloween bag. But as you can see, it's a nice big bag because, you know, it's a garment. So those are my 2 WIPs. Now, let's move on to my FOs. One I've lost. Like, I've completely lost. I cannot find it. Hopefully the dogs didn't find it and chew it up. It has happened. I made a Erica Knight pattern with, there were like fingerless gloves that were really long, and I was going to gift them to my mother-in-law, and my dog ate one. Yeah, she tore it up into 1,000 little pieces of wool. So it has happened. Anyway, moving on to this is called the mini capulette. I made this in black. I'll stick a pattern, I'll stick a picture, I will stick a photo that I posted on Instagram when I finished it so you can see it. But this is a free pattern. It takes almost no time. It's so easy, but it's so cute. By the Double Stitch Twins. This is the back of it. It's just a little something to throw on, you know, to keep you warm. And then my other FO that I'll insert a picture is for another one of Mary Renji's patterns, which is the Jaw hat. Can you see this pretty hat? Oops, sorry, this is a paid pattern. I should not be showing you. Oh, the first page doesn't have a lot, okay. I made the Jaw hat so that I could donate it to, I saw a post on Clara Park's Instagram one day, and she was calling for winter accessories to be donated for immigrants from the Congo and Angola, and it's being handled by, and I'll read you it's being handled by the Main Access Immigrant Network. So there's an address on her post on Instagram, on Clara Park's post on Instagram, which I will link below. And you can send them scarves and hats and gloves and mittens. And it's because they're spending their first winter here and they might not have those things. And I had this really pretty Cascade 220 yarn that is super wash, and I washed the hat in my washer and I dried it in my dryer, and it was perfectly fine. And I made it and I sent it out, and I was really happy to do that. And I want to make one for myself because when I put that hat on, it fits so good. I love the way it fit. I will insert pictures so that you can see it, but I use this really pretty coral Cascade 220. And so that is my second FO. My third FO is the actual project that I was telling you that I was going to make for my Summer of Romance cow, which is Natalie of Detroit Knots Ribbit Tee. This is a paid pattern, and I made mine out of Touch of Alpaca by Lion Brand, which has 90% acrylic, 10% alpaca. And this is my ribbit tee, which I've worn like 3 times already. It's like I made it kind of like a vest. That's what I did. So I don't know if you can see it, but here's some of the detail on it. The ribbing. It's just a great top. I've been layering it like I said, like a vest. And it's kept me really warm. I really love it. Here's the back of it. You can see some of it's kind of hard to show things. Oh, here we go. I'm out of practice. I don't know. I'm really happy with this though. Yeah, so this is the ribbit tee by Natalie of Detroit Knots. I want to make another one, and I want to make it longer, because if you look at Natalie's pictures, hers goes past her hips. Mine doesn't. It's more cropped. Mine's more like up here. It's fine, but it was a quick crochet, and I was really happy to be done with it. To say that I did finish my project for the Summer of Romance, because last year I was going to do the sweater, and by Addie Day Designs, the blurred lines. I have beautiful yarn that was dyed especially for me by Heidi O Wolfie Wool, and I just still have not gotten to that project. But this is done. Then we have my first knitted garment, which is my Boy Lollipop. It's a pattern by Nancy Ricci, and this is a paid pattern, my Boy Lollipop. Like everyone, so many people made this one, and I've been wanting to knit. Can you guys hear the rooster next door? This thing goes off all kinds of weird hours of the day. And can you hear it? Oh. Although I think this is a new rooster. So there was a rooster, and then there was no rooster, and then there was a rooster again. So I think this is a different rooster. You would think I like live in a rural area. I don't. I really don't. Just my neighbors have chickens and whatever. We're gonna let him do his thing. This is My Boy Lollipop. I love this garment. I have worn it many, many times. It's made with Miss Babs Yowza and also with Beehive Yarns. The bottom of this, because I ran out of yarn, so the bottom of this garment here, this is Miss Babs, and then this is the Beehive Yarns. Is it full of mistakes? Yes, it has a lot of mistakes, but I think this is pretty good for a first try. I mean, this is like the first time I knit a garment. This is my first garment I've ever knit, and I had a really good time. It was easy, aside from mechanics that I am still trying to learn about with my knitting. It was a great project, and Nancy is a great designer who provides amazing pattern support. I was really, really happy with everything about that project. Let's talk book signing. I got to go to a book signing last week, and I met up with Karen, who is Katie Gecko Knits. I've spoken about Karen before. She is an amazing knitter. She has a podcast on YouTube. I'll put the link down below. Check her out. She does beautiful work, and she and I hosted the Stitch in Public Day this year, and hopefully next year as well. So I told Karen about it, and she met me in Pasadena. We went to Roman's bookstore, which, funny enough, I was telling her that I had worked there for a brief period of time when I was going to art school. So that bookstore is unlike any bookstore that you have ever seen. They are amazing. I mean, they have the biggest collection of fountain pens and pens of all kinds. Like, if you're into pens, this is a shop that you need to go to. They have a whole display of all kinds of beautiful pens, beautiful stationery, beautiful just notions and things and books. And anyway, so Miss Clara Parks was going to be there signing her copy of Vanishing Fleece. And it was such a lovely night. She is amazing. I've been reading this book. We have implemented in my house what we call family reading time. So 30 minutes before my kids go to bed, we all grab a book, every one of us, and we sit in the living room and we just read for 30 minutes. One of the reasons we're doing that is because both of my kids struggle with reading, and one of the things that has been suggested is that it's good for kids to see adults reading actual books. And so we're readers. My husband and I are readers. It's just that for the longest time now, I've been doing a lot of audiobooks instead of actual holding on to a book and reading it. But I thought this was a great way of getting through this book and modeling good reading behavior for the kids. And my son's reading a book, my daughter's reading a book, my husband's reading a book, and I'm reading this one. So I had a good time. Karen and I had a great time. And one of the things that Clara Parks did is she made us all good wool ambassadors by giving us this awesome pin. Let's see if it will focus on that. So we got our good wool ambassador pins, and she read a little excerpt from her book, and it was a lot of fun. So I can't wait to I actually didn't want to stop reading last night. We started reading, and then the alarm went off after 30 minutes, and I kept reading a little bit more. It's a good book. I totally recommend it. And let's see. Oh, you see this? Do you see this? Isn't this amazing? I have been wanting to crochet one of these flower crowns because Nancy Ricci is the person that I've seen them wearing these, and there is a pattern on her blog, I believe, for this crown, and Karen gifted me one. Look at this. Isn't this just, look at, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. And I wore it to the book signing, and then we went to get something to eat afterwards. But I freaking love this thing. Look at that. It looks so good. So yeah, I will put a link to how to make this if you want to make it. I am so happy to own one of these things. Like I said, I've been wanting to make one. I just haven't been able to do it. And then when Karen pulled it out and said, here you go, I was like really happy. She also brought me, you know, Karen went to Rhinebeck. She actually went to Rhinebeck, and she went to the Christy Glass's bowling night. And there she brought me back, and here it is. She brought me back this cute little memento, which is an enamel pin that says Christy Glass Knits. And then it had a little bowling ball stitch marker, and I have misplaced it. I think it's in my bag because I was looking at it going, oh, it's so cute, it's so cute. And I think I put it inside one of the bags. So I will have to find that, and I'll show it to you when I find it. But I did get this really cute enamel pin that says Christy Glass Knits, which is cool because I like Christy Glass. I watch her videos all the time. I think she does an amazing job. I really enjoy her work, and so I'm really happy to own one of these pins. Next, I want to share with you some acquisitions, and this is definitely a yarn dyer highlight. She is one of my favorite yarn dyers. It's Tara from Mitchell's Creations, and I want to show you some of the yarn that I've purchased recently from her. This was going to be a Halloween project, but it, you know, Halloween's come and gone. Doesn't matter because the yarn is amazing. This one is called, you ready for this? You ready for this? Along Came a Spider. Look at how beautiful this is. She has such vibrant colors. The combination is absolutely gorgeous. I'm thinking shawl for this. I'm thinking a 2-skein shawl project for this. But yes, this is Along Came a Spider. Now, I really wanted to participate in Clarissa Beth's Mischievous Mal. Was that cow? Was that what it's called? I'll put the name here. It was her Harry Potter inspired cow, crochet along or knit along. I really wanted to participate, but I wanted to get some Harry Potter yarn. So I said to Tara, where's your Harry Potter yarn? And she actually dyed some that is to die for. So the first one, but I just got it recently, so I wasn't able to participate in the cow, but I will still be making something with, this one is called Harry Potter Herbology. Now we were talking about that and how there's specific plants and herbs and flowers and things like that that are in the Harry Potter universe. And there was a poster that had all the different plants and flowers and things like that. And so her Harry Potter Herbology looks like this. Look at how vibrant those colors are. Look at this. Oh my gosh, I love this color combination. It's just beautiful. So this is Harry Potter Herbology. And then this one is called Put Away Those Fangs. And this one is inspired. What are you trying to do? My dog's trying to break in. All right, come on. This one is called Put Away Those Fangs, and it's based on that plant that has the teeth. But look how pretty that is. I'm thinking socks for Christmas. I think this might be my Christmas sock colorway. Then she outdid herself with this one. I love this one so much. It's called Harry Potter Herb Garden. Again, inspired by the herbs and plants Harry Potter, but and if you go to her Instagram page, you will see the inspiration photographs for these yarns. So I highly, highly recommend you to go to Mitchell's Creations. I will put a link to her Instagram so that you can see. I absolutely love this colorway. I bought enough to make either another My Boy Lollipop or another knitted top. This is going to be a knitted garment. I think these are gorgeous. I love them. Love them. Love them. So those are my acquisitions from Tara. And I am so happy to support her. Again, like I was saying, I'd rather just support the individual dyers by shopping directly from them. Now, I contacted Faye a while ago, and she sent me a package of things that had caught my eye from her shop because they are beautiful. And one of the things that caught my eye were some bags that she had. So I ordered 2 bags. And these are from the Knit It, Hook It, Crafted store online. Faye-Hughes Crochet Circle podcast. Just want to make sure you know exactly where you can go to get the stuff because it's so cool. So this is my little doggy bag. I love it. Little project bag. And this bag is from Nina New, and it's handmade in the UK. Look at the cool tag. So, and it says it's 100% organic cotton handmade bags. These ethically made bags are hand-drawn and designed by Nina from her studio in North London. So that one. And then this one. Look at this one. Look at the Pegasus. Oh, I love it. It's watercolor looking print. I love this bag so much. I also ordered from My Crochet Makes. Faye stocks these in her shop. This really pretty stitch marker. Stash Queen. And a copy of Take Two because my copy of Take Two that I originally bought is missing. I don't know where I put it. I don't know what I did with it. And it was giving me slight anxiety not having the hard copy. So I ordered this copy, and you can see some of the projects. If you have not seen this book came out a while ago, and it's basically Faye and Lynn Rowe. They took a pattern and they both did their take on the pattern. So for example, as you see on the cover, one of these is Faye's a version of that pattern, and one of them is Lynn's. I'll show you another version here. Let's see. For example, here's Lynn Rowe's version of these fingerless mittens. Look how pretty they are, right? So that's Lynn's version. And then this is Faye's version, right? So I thought that I needed to have this back in my library. I also ordered the John Arbin Annual. which is a fun little book. I really, really like this book. The reason I ordered it was because I wanted to make the shawl that Faye has in here called Drusilla. This is the only place you're going to get this shawl pattern. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And then here's another version of it right here. So I bought this annual and it's beautiful. I love the paper. And now that I'm knitting, because I knitted the sweater, the top, so I'm a knitter. I like these socks. Yeah, I'm gonna knit socks. Not tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. But I will knit socks someday. Anyway, that is what I have acquired. And I know it's a lot, but I have plans for all of it. I have really good, solid plans for all the yarn that I wanted to talk to you about a collaboration I'm a part of, and I'm really proud to be a part of. And that is a sock kit that is coming out in December. It's called Foot Fiesta. It has a Latinx flavor, and I am collaborating with 2 other makers, both whom I actually met in person at Rhinebeck West. That was so much fun. We went and had a little bit of dinner afterwards, and it was a great time. And so we were thinking that collaborations are good because they get people together and they get us to highlight each other's talents. And like I've always said, I think there's room for everyone. So I am very proud to be collaborating with these 2 ladies. One is a yarn dyer. Her name's Jessie, and she is from Me to Yarn. And if you do not get a big old smile on your face when you look at her yarn, I don't know what your deal is, because her colors are happy, they're vibrant, they're beautiful, and I just really like Jessie. She's got a great personality. So I saw a colorway on her Instagram and I'm like, I need to have that. And it's called Acuarela. Acuarela is the Spanish word for watercolor. And let me show you this colorway. Look at how absolutely beautiful and vibrant. Oops, I got some crud on it. Hold on. Some packaging stuff on it. Okay. Look at how beautiful and vibrant these colors are. Do they not just make you happy? I mean, this is her label, From Me to Yarn. And she is going to be dyeing the yarn for the sock kit. And she also sent me some stitch markers. Right there. There you go. She makes these herself. And 3 of them I am actually going to be included in a prize for the package that's going to the person who won, who was picked for the Summer Romance. You're going to get 3 of her stitch markers, and I'm going to keep 3 of them as well because they're so cute. But you see this here that I'm wearing? So she was telling me in her card that she sent to me, how beautiful that is, that this ribbon, I'll read to you, the ribbon I use on my packaging is from my hometown in Brazil. They're meant to bring good luck and help wishes come true. When you tie them around a wrist or an ankle, make 3 knots, 1 wish per knot. So I've got my ribbon wrapped around my wrist, and I've knotted it 3 times, and I've made my 3 wishes, and hopefully they come true. But I thought this was so much fun, and I have an extra one that I will be including in someone's prize. So that is Jessie. And then the other person that's collaborating with us is Elba. Now, I will talk more about Elba in my next podcast because I actually had her I sent her a series of questions for an interview, and she did respond to me, and this was a while ago. So I will do a proper introduction of Elba, but I will tell you, she's amazing. She cranks sock tubes. Ah, look how pretty that is. And she gifted me this sock tube. This is a Malabrigo. The color is Aniversario, and I have some of this in my stash actually. But look how beautiful it knits up. So she will be cranking Jessie's yarn into a tube. You will get that in your Foot Fiesta sock kit, along with some stitch markers, a button that I'm going to design, and a sticker that I'm going to design. So head over to Jessie's website. She has the link for the Foot Fiesta sock kit. And like I said, this is a great collaboration. We're all Latinas, and we are very happy to be collaborating and bringing you I mean, if you're going to cast on for Christmas Eve, your work is almost done. You know, all you're going to do is toe, heels, and cuffs, and you will have a beautiful Christmas sock, Latina style. Yes, with a Latina flavor. And I believe she's including a contrasting mini. So head over to her website so that you can be part of our Foot Fiesta. The other big news that I have is that I am working with Diane of Lady Di Yarns. I am her operations manager for the upcoming year. I will be managing all the different clubs that are happening. We have a year-long offering of clubs for you. Every month is a theme. Every month is different makers in those clubs. And we are so excited to be collaborating and bringing this to you. I think you are going to be blown away by not only the makers, but what you're going to get in each club. You'll have to head over to Diane's website to sign up. You can sign up for 1 month. You can sign up for the whole year. There's options there for you. I am really happy to be working with Diane. She is an amazing powerhouse of a woman. She just has so many brilliant ideas, and she's just such a hardworking person, wanting the best for everyone, wanting to really highlight BIPOC makers, really wanting to help us get the word out there that we have fantastic products and that we're just as talented and we deserve a chance to be seen. So yeah, supporting, if you want to support BIPOC makers, this is a great way of doing it, because you'll be supporting not just one person, you'll be supporting between 3 and 4, up to 4 people, because we're going to have at least between 3 and 4 people collaborate each month with us. So I highly encourage you to do that. It's going to be so much fun, and I don't think you want to miss it. There's limited spots for each month. Let's move on to this episode's super mega pattern palooza. I have been collecting patterns like a mad woman, and I want to share them with you. It's going to be a lot, but like I said, go to the bundle in the Crochet Luna Ravelry group and you will find these patterns, because there's going to be a lot, and I make no apologies for it. Most of these are paid patterns. I'll have to tell you that right now. I do have some free patterns here, but you can make the decision whether you want to, support these designers. But I love all of these patterns. The first one is a Tridacna tee. I might have shown this before, but this is a beautiful crocheted V collared tee, which is really pretty. I love it. This is a paid pattern, and the Tridacna tee is by Jelly Knitting. You can find her as Jelly Knitting on Instagram, Facebook, Etsy, and Ravelry. Now this pattern also has a very deep V-neck version, which I will not be doing because nobody needs to be seeing that. But look how pretty that is. Then we've got this. I am so in love with. I cannot wait to get started on it. Claudia, who is Claudia Dingle on Instagram, and Woolworths. I can never say that word. I'll put it right here. Check out her version of this top. It's a Taroko crochet sweater by Nomadic. I believe it's Nomadic Nomad Stitches. That's what it is. Look at how beautiful that is. Oh, I can't wait to get started on this. Actually, Christy Glass featured on her Tell Me About Your Rhinebeck Sweater video someone who made this top, and it looks amazing. Now, I was also gifted a beautiful jacket, and it's a tweed jacket by Simone Francis. She reached out to me and actually sent me this beautiful pattern. Look at how pretty that is. Here's the back of it. I love the way it looks in these colors. I love it. It's called the Tweed Jacket by Simone Francis. This is also a paid pattern. And the Some More Designs, Elizabeth Desamore, she is hosting the BIPOC Mal. Designed a high-low sweater. It's a great design. I believe Kalisha of the Quirky Monday podcast tested the sweater for her. Look how pretty that is. I love the detail of, it's called a high-low sweater. I love the detail of the sweater. I think it's great. You can see more pictures of it here. Now, this sweater by Dora Does just puts a smile on my face. It's called the Rainbow Smiles Sweater. Look at how pretty that is. It's sweater season, people. We gotta start crocheting some sweaters. I love it. It's so pretty. So this is the Rainbow Smile Sweater by Dora Does. And the ever-talented Tony Lipsy has come out with a super cute little cardie called the French Press Cardie. It's an cropped open front bolero. I really like the way that looks. Especially here in San Diego, this style works really well down here. Just to throw on over something. And my friend Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet sent me a beautiful pattern, gifted me a beautiful pattern. Now, if you don't know Hannah, I don't know what rock you've been living under. Hannah is a super talented crochet designer. She is an amazing podcaster. Her podcast is the Cozy Cottage Crochet. Hannah, you know I love you. Think about you all the time. Sending you hugs and kisses. And Hannah is undertaking an incredibly important endeavor with starting a new church with some other people, I guess. But if you have not checked out her Instagram, please check out her Instagram. I think what you're doing is amazing, Hannah. I completely support you and your vision, and I wish you nothing but the best. People like you are the people who change the world. I really believe that, and so you have to believe that as well. So she gifted me this beautiful cowl. It's beautiful. I love it. It's called Do You Want to Build a Snowman? And this cowl has beads in it. And I've been wanting to do something with beads, and I actually have a yarn from Katia that has beads in it that I may try to use to make this. Look how pretty that is. Speaking of cowls, my wonderful friend and designer Rosina of the Zines and Roger podcast designed a cowl and put my name on it, which is amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing that you would do that, Rosina. And I've said that to you before. And this is the Claudia cowl. I love, love, love. I love cowls that are snug around the neck. I don't like them too loose. So this is very much along the designs of how I like my cowl. So I'm really happy that she designed this, and I have the perfect yarn for it, and I had it here, and now it's locked away because I actually have Dalton Lester's Border Lester's yarn that we visited their stand at Yarndale last year when I went to Yarndale, and she and I were walking around. I have this yarn in several colors, and so I'm ready. I have it. And so this is a Claudia cowl, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud to have something like this as beautiful as this cowl named after me. So thank you, Rosina. I have some poncho style. I like the ponchos, but not like, I don't like them too long. I like them just enough to cover like the areas that get cold. And so this one I thought was an interesting, this is actually I think a free pattern. I could be wrong, but I think this is a free pattern. Check out the Ravelry group, but this is called the Cowl in the Wool Capulette. I don't know that I would make it with the hood part, but I do like all this front post stitching that is going on here. I think it's probably going to make a really squishy cowl. It's made in worsted weight yarn, and I thought this was really cool. I like it. I really do. And then I have this one, which is the Free Granny Poncho Pattern by Caracol Handmade. This is the only picture I have of it, but it really caught my eye. I really liked the way that looked. Now this is a free pattern, and it's beautiful. It's called the Lisbon, and it's from Barocco, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's called the Lisbon. This is from the Barocco website. I think this is just gorgeous texture, and the color is really pretty too. Very neutral. There's 2 shawls on my list to make. One of them was a pattern that was gifted to me by Sam of the Sam Squeak podcast, and it's her Ebbing Tide shawl. I finally printed a proper picture of it. I really want to make this. I think this is really pretty. And I want to make the Tunisian Adventure Shawl by Sharon Murphy. Isn't that beautiful? I know I've seen some people have made it. 2 hats on my radar. The Mega Palm Beanie. This one is also by TL Yarn Crafts. I am forever looking for hats to make. And, oh, I don't have the other hat pattern. Oh, I do. And it's a knitted hat. And these are hats by, actually it's several hats by Lavania Patricella. And this is the Standing Rock hat. This is a knitted hat pattern. And I liked, this is, I think this is a free pattern. The Water is Life hat. Those 2 are knitted hats. So this one and Standing Rock, these 2 are knitted hats. But I feel like I'm ready to make some knitted hats. I'm ready. I am ready. I have a scarf that's on my radar by Lulu Loves. It's called the Penelope Scarf by Emma Scott. Look how pretty that is. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Emma also has a podcast. You should totally watch it. I will put a link to her podcast. She's got a beautiful, very feminine, very, what's the word? I don't know, like when I see her stuff, it kind of throws me back to a different time, and it's just very calming. And I don't know, I love her style. I love what she does and how she designs and her color scheme. I also bought the Fall Interweave Crochet magazine. This is an amazing sweater, but the one that I want to make is actually this one. What is it called? The Journey Home Cardigan. Isn't that pretty? This has an amazing cable detail in the back. Can you see that? It looks really comfortable. And I have yarn. I have yarn that I can make that with. The back of this green sweater that I showed you from the front cover. Look at that. But then look at the back of it. It's got beautiful cable design. And I also want to make this other one that's like a short sleeve one. So this particular issue of Interweave is one of my favorite magazines, and they do always have really beautiful crochet. But there's a lot in this issue that I think you would enjoy making. There is, let me show you real quick. This one, I really like the way this looks. So there you go. Super long episode. I've caught you up with everything. Hopefully it won't be this long between episodes now that I'm all caught up. And I have an Etsy shop update. I may do a separate video because I have some exciting things that I want to put on the shop. I want to put in the shop, and so I don't want to add it on. Oh, I do have another announcement before I forget. Pasadena, November 14th through the 17th is Stitches Pasadena. I will be there on Saturday. I will be hanging out with Karen of Katie Gecko Knits. We are trying to put a dinner together so that we can go and hang out afterwards and have dinner. I want to show you some yarn. Like I haven't shown you enough yarn, right? Leslie of Laser Sheep Yarns. She is the lady who actually commissioned me to make a a crochet pattern for Knit Disney, my Encanto wrap, which has been updated because there was a slight error in the row count. Nothing that affected the making of the wrap, just some row count errors. That's been updated. Hopefully there are no more errors in that pattern. She contacted me because she wants to put kits together to sell at Stitches Pasadena of my Encanto wrap, which is so thrilling. And I am making a sample for the booth with her. This is, love it. Okay, this is Chewbacca, I think. Star Wars colorway. Chewbacca. Get her little pin. She always includes a little pin right there. I don't know how to get this thing to focus, but it's this colorway. And this is Princess of Alderaan. Because she's a little sheep. That looks like Princess Leia. Look how cute that is. Princess Leia sheep. So this colorway and this colorway are going to be a sample wrap in her booth. And you will be able to purchase the kit of these two beautiful yarns to make your own Encanto wrap. This is on a sparkle base. Sparkle socks, 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. It's beautiful. They both sparkle so nicely. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. But I will be making a sample for her booth. And I will be there Saturday and Sunday. If you go to Stitches Pasadena and you see me walking around, please come say hi. And yeah, I think I'm all caught up. I'm so happy. I'm proud of myself. Now to edit this super megathon episode. Thank you so much for everybody who has subscribed to the channel. Thank you for your patience, and sending you nothing but love. Crochet on, and I will see you next time.